That was a lovely cinematic. Hello, welcome to today's video. Today, as you've seen, we're showcasing submarines. Alright, so I have the two submarines that were featured in the little short film thing at the beginning. This is the Courier class submarine, and then here's its bigger and technically his younger brother. I built this guy second. This is the Research class vessel, and these are two fully functional Minecraft submarines that are also survival friendly. Let me show you around. Alright, so starting with the the Courier class, bit of a tight space in here, and one thing you'll notice is the compartment is still flooded with water. Unfortunately, due to the limitations of the Valkyrian Skies mod, that's gonna happen. There's not currently a workaround, but hopefully soon we'll get something. And you'll notice I'm floating, walking around. I figured the easiest way to navigate is to use diving boots. You notice it kind of simulates walking underwater. You'll see I kind of fall, I can't really swim, and so these will make it the immersion a lot better if you use these. Alright, so tour of the Courier class. We've got the cockpit, got a little ladder in case you want to surface and just admire the view. Shaders, it looks really pretty, and I know I'm gonna get 5,000 comments asking this. These are the shaders, so you don't even need a comment. Alright, the submarine runs off of a single gasoline engine. You see right here, it's a pretty big tank. Here's a functional conduit in the back, and how it works is you just have to build the conduit and place the water. The water of the ocean is not going to affect this conduit. The water has to be part of the physics entity, if that makes sense. So we have that for life support. We've got the engine, and now we've got the controls. Controls are pretty simple. We've got, you just go forward, you can turn side to side, and you can go backwards. But right now this thing is practically just functioning as a boat. Exactly how does the depth control work? What you'll notice is we have powered balloons from the VS Tournament mod underneath here. So underneath like the entire hull, and these guys allow the ship to float, and without it, they sink. Sounds simple enough. And it takes this very similar concept to how the helicopter works with this height controller. So I set it to my desired depth, and we start sinking. Pretty neat, pretty nice. And as we're going down, we can drive around. And yeah, it's pretty simple submarine controls. I have wings to kind of help slow the descent. They're not really necessary, but I like the nice touch on them. Have some lights on the outside. Have some flaps to kind of keep it from like drifting off in one direction. Put flaps up here too. Once again, not really needed, but they're fun. And then we have the gyro to keep it from tipping, and we use a linked controller hub from I don't know what the mod's called. We use the linked controller hub from the drive-by-wire mod, and we have two twin engines in the back. Pretty simple design. You also use a copper jetpack when you're underwater. If you're wearing the boots, kind of makes navigation easier. Now on to the submarine's bigger brother. We have the Research class. This vessel is designed more in mind of a survival base because it's a little bigger and it's got some more functions if you wanted to live out in the sea. So we've got this nice little cockpit here. It's now equipped with radar, so you can tell what entities are around you. We've got a little cabin here. We've got beds, chests, crafting table. Very basic, minimalistic stuff. I don't really know what a survival submarine needs. We've got a schematic table. Thought it just looked nice as a counter. And you'll notice this guy, it's been on for a little longer, has two gasoline tanks and two gasoline engines. Because there's a little bit more to power, I needed a second gasoline engine to generate more stress units, and it's all kind of just linked up here, and cranks to start them up. And just to be more space efficient, I kind of smush the conduit right here in the engine room too. This one is a stronger conduit. I've got another layer around it, so it will have the most range, and I thought because the submarine's bigger, why not? And that's pretty much the living quarters. And here we have the cockpit. You notice it's a little more space, and your visibility is much better just from first person view in this cockpit. And these controls, as you saw in the little short film in the beginning, are for the grabber. So if I were to hit this guy, arm goes down. This guy, you can't really see it once again because of the shaders, but the sticker would function. Because what's fun is the sticker actually functions on physics objects, so allowing me to grab the submarine like presented in that little short. So you have this guy here, very nice. So once again, I can show you the grabbing mechanism. So you take your submarine, try your best to line it up, start descending. And also, both ships have these analog levers which override the controls. So I just pop that down and I should actually start descending now. Because this guy, while we're descending, I'll show off, has a little special cabin underneath here, which has extra balloons. These guys aren't being powered by the height detector thing. These guys down here are only powered by the analog lever, while these guys up here are powered by both. There's also some netherite blocks in both for weight distribution reasons, so just swim over to the submarine. I'm gonna have to descend a little more, set course. Control-wise, I think it's pretty smooth. They both have relatively the same control system, except this guy's just a little bigger. This ship is also a little faster than the courier class. Basically, the first one would be a more earlier game friendly. I don't really know how early game friendly either of these are, but if one were to be slightly more friendly, it would probably be the first one. Alright, we're lined up with the ship, so all I would do is descend a few more blocks until I'm practically touching it. And stick, and we grabbed it. So now, if I start swimming, I'm actually pulling the submarine around with me. So it's useful if you have like, maybe you have some cargo that's a physics object and you want to haul it around. You could do that. I'm guessing smaller objects would be able to retract up to the top if you needed, but if I try to do that with this submarine, it's not going to work. It's just kind of gonna pull away. So yeah, and if I want to surface, because the submarine adds weight, I have to use the analog lever in addition to setting the altitude. I could just use the analog lever, but I like to keep the altitude close to the same. And then we just come up here and voila! That was another Create Mod Invention Showcase. I really hope you all enjoyed. If there's something you'd like to see me build, please leave a comment. I love reading them. And I wish you all a fabulous day. See ya!